Hey guys, got a deck profile video for you today on the new Megacolony machining deck from the set 15, which is going to be coming out in September. Now, Megacolony have been the butt-end of all Vanguard jokes. They've been the most unsupported clan in the history of this game, but finally they're getting some much needed support. They have had a good promo which came out with the Bushy Road monthly stuff, but didn't come out in English, but this new stuff is really strong. Now with the trigger lineup, it's a bit annoying there is not a full set of machining triggers, and the starting Vanguard isn't that great with our grade 3s. So we've got 4 of the new heal triggers as a machining, because we have got some special counterblasts we're going to need. We've also got 4 of the new crit, and 4 old crit, so we're going straight for an 8 crit maximum damage on our opponent. And then we're going to have 4 draw. Again, it's not a machining, so that's quite frustrating if these cards go into the damage zone. We can't use them for our special counterblasts. But we do have this guy as our starter, Megacolony Battle C. He just works very well with the strategy of the deck. When he boosts a Vanguard and it hits, you can counterblast 1, put him in the soul, and one of your opponent's rear guards does not stand during the stand phase. So it's essentially going to be the theme throughout the deck, and it helps us use up that non-specific counterblast. Now with the grade 1s, we've got quite a lot of different grade 1s, 6 different cards in here. So I'm trying a variety of different, different options, and basically give us more choice. So we're going to go for 2 perfect guards because, and 2 of the quintet wall, because the quintet wall once again can use up those non-machining counterblasts. And also I figured I'd give these guys a go. And secondly, thirdly, I didn't want too many units that weren't machining in the deck. So this gives us, the solid perfect guard and then that risky quintet wall option. Now we're going for this guy. This is one of the new machining units. I only got for 2 copies of this guy just because I didn't want to have too many 6k grade 1s in the deck. I really like this unit, but you have to be careful about what unit you boost with to reach the correct powers. This is machining Carcassus, I believe it's pronounced. He's got a very interesting skill on the rear guard. When he boosts a machining, if it hits the Vanguard, you can choose one of your opponent's rear guards, and they don't stand during the stand phase. So once again, the exact same skill. A lot of the units are going to have the same skill, but in various different ways. And then we're going to go down to our next grade 1s. This guy is a machining unit. We're going to go 3 copies of this guy. This guy just kind of helps balance out that low number of draw cards because this is a machining locust. You choose a card from your hand, discard it. When it's placed on rearguard, you've got a Megacolony Vanguard, and all your opponent's rearguards are in rest. You get to draw a card. Now that's going to be very easy because obviously when your opponent attacks you, they're going to rest all their units. If they don't rest it, well then you've got ways to force the rest. 3 of this guy. Now he's just your solid machining named special attacker. This is the Black Soldier, so he gets the 3k power if you've got a machining Vanguard. So if you're just in a pinch, you've got this guy, you can slide him forward, you've still got a 10k attacker in the front row. And then this last unit is going to be our penultimate, I guess, final unit that does not have machining in its name, and it's Stealth Millipede. This is our 10k attacker. When it boosts a Vanguard, all your opponent's rear guards are in rest, or units in rest, it gets 4k. So that allows us to hit the magic numbers. So with the grade 2s, we've just gone for all machinings on these guys, thankfully. This first guy is the Red Soldier. He's our 12k beat stick, so if you've got a machining Vanguard, he's going to be able to hit the 12. So this is the guy we want Carcassus to be boosted. If it hits 18, that pushes the big enough guard. This is the guy you want to boost to be able to stop that unit from being from restanding. The second one we're also having 4 copies of is the Tarantula. This guy is when you call into Vanguard or rear guard, you counterblast a machining, and then if you've got Megacolony Vanguard, you pick one of your opponent's rear guards, it doesn't stand during the stand phase. So this one obviously requires that special counterblast, but it's quite nice as upon calling. It's only a single counterblast, so it's not too heavy, and it forces a unit to be stunned. And now the final unit we're going to go for is 3 copies of the Machining Armor Beetle Primate. Now this was a great card when it first came out. We were really excited that Megacolony were going to get a decent card. And this card works very well with Spark Hercules, because when you call it to Vanguard, you pick another one of your Megacolony units on the rear guard and you pop it into the soul, and that way then you pick opponent's rear guard and stun it, prevent it from standing during the stand phase. So when I get onto Spark Hercules, I'll explain again why that is so good. So this is our Break Ride. He is not a he is a Megacolony unit. He isn't a machining unit, but he has got the ability, the skill, which Megacolony players have wanted since the dawn of Megacolony. Break Ride, so damage 4, you get 10k power, and all your opponent's units do not stand. So that includes the Vanguard. Yes, you stun your opponent's Vanguard. They can obviously ride their Vanguard again to restand, but basically you kind of want to hold back, break the brake ride before you go into Spark Hercules, because they can just brake ride and then that's kind of negated the amazing part of the skill. So this is Spark Hercules. He is a bit of a beast. I love his artwork. He's got a nifty little ability where you can Soul Blast one with a machining in its card name, and you can then rest all your opponent's rear guards, and it gains 2k. So if they want to be a bit like, I don't know, not fully attack with every unit, then you can force a rest, and also help him hit those cross rides. And then his main brake ride skill is if all their units are rested, he gets 10k and a crit. So you're going to be hitting very, very hard as well. Here's a few options, a few other the older machines you can think about. This guy allows you to soul charge, so again that works with Spark Hercules. That soul blast get extra power, because if you can fight against cross rides, got a lot of cross rides nowadays with Zenith and those sort of dudes that hit it. Mantis, obviously if you just call it, it becomes a 10. He gets an extra 3k, but that's just for that one turn. And the same with Hornet, they got the same ability. If you've got machining, you call them, and obviously they get that one turn power. And then Toxic Trooper is pretty cool. He prevents intercepts, but again it's not on machining. Now these are the other two cards that are quite interesting. You've got Machining Little B. It's got a skill where you put this card from the field into the soul, and then you pick a unit and it gets 3k, and then you stand a unit back up. So that only really works with the old Stag Beetle. I can see it working with the new Fighters Collection card, but you know, I'm not too bothered by that. And then you've got the stand trigger. You can have as many stand triggers as you want in your deck, which is quite cool. And he's got the Mantis skill where he gains extra 3k when you call him. So this is the War Sickle. This is a really interesting card from the Fighters Collection that still hasn't got a date for us, which is quite a nasty skill really. As when the attack doesn't hit, you can counterblast 2, and then you stun your opponent's Vanguard. This is really great late game. You know, after your opponent is break ridden or cross ridden, they've got small hands, you're not going to want the damage to hit. It's got the horrible Dark Rex thing. Do you really want me to hit? So you don't hit, then obviously you can force their Vanguard to not restand. And then he's got quite a nice little ability. You know, you can counterblast one and call a unit out from the soul as rest, and then obviously use a little B to stand him back up. So yeah, that's the machining video. I really like this deck. I've already pre-ordered all my cards for my credit from singles. It's getting quite pricey, so I suggest if you want to play it, get the pre-order done now. So thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you next time. Adios.